New Zealand has everything. Spectacularly coloured lakes, geothermal activity aplenty, green carpeted valleys, inhospitable peaks, stunning forest canopies, hiking trails to rival those of any country, and a simply stunning network of roads that connect all the dots. But as we learned during our time traversing the country, there is one massive drawback.
Yeah, I feel like New Zealand's just super expensive in general.
$49 for bin liners.
We're like travelling on quite a budget.
Yeah.
And it just feels like everything is out of our price range.
Choose whichever one you want according to the price.
Yep, Jack is right, especially when you come to the North Island's adventure sports capital, Rotorua. This place is not short of things to do, but good luck not blowing your budget here. So why didn't we just skip this town? Well, we are never ones to shirk a challenge, so today we are going to show you how to van life your way through New Zealand without breaking the bank.
Oh, wifey, we should get up really, shouldn't we?
Oh, I know, but I'm really snuggly. Snug as a bug in a rug.
Come on.
Wow, there's so many things you can do.
So many.
You can go on a canopy tour.
Oh, that looks lame.
Zorbing.
Oh my god. Why would you come all the way here to just go inside a rubber bloody ball?
A tree walk.
Probably expensive, isn't it?
Lion feeding.
Lions in New Zealand? That can't be ethical.
Oh, there's a kiwi hatchery.
Oh, that could be great, but probably pretty expensive, isn't it? I feel like we're going to be able to afford to do any of this stuff.
So what do you want to do?
Well, I guess I want to go to do something geothermal because we're here.
Well, my man is going to be in for a treat.
You can see steam popping up everywhere.
I'd like to learn about the Maori culture.
Spoiler alert, we end up speaking to so many incredible people that we will end up making a whole separate video about Maori culture. Subscribe so you don't miss it.
And there was something else that you can do in Rotorua. What was that?
There are some big ass mother flipping trees.
Well, I better get researching.
After a bit of digging, it turns out there is plenty to keep us busy. So, let's get going.
Now, wherever I travel to in the world, I always like to think that the best way to learn about the local culture is not by going to the tourist sites. It's actually by coming to McDonald's, because McDonald's always do a pretty, well, I don't want to say good job, they do a job of adapting to local cultures, say.
This definitely wasn't on my to-do list, but Jack is right. Maori wood carvings, big brekkie burgers, and a special edition beverage. We can't get more Kiwi than this, eh?
Oh my god, and they do slushies. What the flip? This is taking me back to all sorts of childhood memories of going to the cinema.
Alright, we don't need your life story, Jack. Besides, we'll be going to a rather special Mackey's, or Macca's as it's known locally, in an upcoming vlog. If you're lucky, then I'll let you try Fanta Frozen there.
What brain freeze?
Don't worry, that was only a pit stop and now it's time for the main event. Jack said he wanted to...
do something geothermal.
And thankfully we didn't have to drive far.
Rotorua is an absolute hub of geothermal activity. There are so many different places that you can go to see some of it.
Oh, you mean places where you can go to spend your hard-earned cash, don't you, Nico?
Yeah, there are some places that are a little bit spenny, but this place is right in the centre of the city and it's absolutely free.
Where else in the world could you possibly hope to see a boiling hot bubble bath down your local park? It looks pretty hot though, so I don't reckon we'll be dipping our toes in.
So as you can see, there's bubbles, there's steam, there's mud, there's a lot going on here, and I'm not exactly sure what it all is. But luckily for you guys, I've ran into an expert. Well, maybe not exactly an expert on geothermal things, but an expert on most things in life, and that's my dad. So Dad, what can we see?
Well, I think somebody's left the burner on. This pool behind us is over 100 degrees apparently, which is a boiling point. I'm amazed we can get this close.
I know, right? And the fact that it's right in the centre of the city,
Yeah.
and that it's free.
Down here is Mordo, just 100 yards away over there is Hobbiton. It's beautiful. You can understand a country of contrasts, but having the contrasts so close together is what amazes me.
He's not wrong there. As we'll discover during our upcoming episodes, when you drive through New Zealand, the scenery is as changeable as the weather. Anyway, to illustrate his point, my dad insisted we leave Vera parked up on the side of the road so he could whiz us up to a tasty viewpoint.
Well, there you go, missus. That's something free for you.
A nice tasty viewpoint with some beautiful vistas, Views are free.
They certainly are, but I tell you what ain't free. A nighttime tree walk in the redwood forest, courtesy of my parents. So, I guess it was free for me, but that doesn't quite fit the narrative. So we'll pop back in the light and I will show you how to explore it without spending a penny. But first, let's do a spot of lake hopping.
Wow, it's bloody beautiful, isn't it, missus?
Yeah, it really is. And like I've said before, a free view costs nothing.
Well, actually, as we're going to find out later, a free view can come with a pretty heavy price. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Lake 1 done. Time for lake number 2. We're on the road again. Green Lake, Blue Lake. Green Lake, Blue Lake. We've got the Blue Lake and the Green Lake here. Now the Green Lake says that it's owned by local Maori people, so you cannot swim, boat or do other laking activities. But the Blue Lake, did I say Green Lake? Did I say Blue Lake?
Never mind, we'll cover all that in an upcoming film on Maori history anyway.
Green Lake as you can't swim in. In the middle of the island is a cemetery.
So let's go get some refreshments instead, as I clearly need some sugar.
This is a really famous lake because there was a volcanic eruption at some point. I can't remember the date.
Ooh, okay, now I'm refreshed, let me try again.
So this is Lake TARAWERA, and opposite this looking point where we are is Mount TARAWERA. Now there was a volcanic eruption on this date and it completely wiped out so many villages and tribes in this area.
And on that cheery note, it's time for a bit of bird spotting.
And this part of the lake has lots of black swans because swans are black in New Zealand.
And my personal fave activity of all.
Just have a little picnic by the lake.
So we decided to park up the old girl Vera because, to be quite frank, after lunch it started getting pretty bloody hot here in Rotorua. But thankfully for us, right ahead of me, there is an amazing canopy that's going to offer us all the shade and sanctuary we need. And even better, it's completely free of charge to enter. Let's go check it out.
And what a canopy it is! Towering 70 metres above the floor, offering shade to insects, ferns, and of course, tourists. Interestingly, these monolithic bark-clad towers are in fact California redwoods, planted a little over a century ago. Apparently they grow much faster in New Zealand than back home in the US of A.
So when I was researching coming to the redwoods, the information that I found online basically was all talking about this tree walk, which is great, but you have to pay for it.
Unless your parents are kind enough to treat you, of course.
But actually there's an entire forest filled with redwoods, and there's mountain bike tracks, there's hiking tracks, and there's horse riding tracks.
But for me, the best activity of all is of course living my best life by floating through the forest in a swirly yellow skirt, whilst Jack snaps some pictures of me. Don't go feeling sorry for him though. I'll leave him plenty of time to nerd out on, well, whatever floats his boat, I guess.
When you do venture out of the shade again, it's absolutely blisteringly hot, but definitely worth it when you pass amazing streams like this. It smells very sulfuric, but the watercolour is just like, well, unlike anything I've ever seen before. I'm not exaggerating there. And besides the absolutely mammoth redwood trees, which feel pretty damn old in their own right, we have these bad boys. Now these are absolutely incredible. Have you ever seen a fern like this? It's like a fern, but it's a tree. Oh my god, I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park right now.
Ugh, that film terrifies the life out of me, as does swimming in water where I can't see the bottom. But that ain't stopping us from heading off in search of a mythical hot river hidden in a far-flung wood.
So we just pulled off the highway onto this little side road, and it's very, very bloody bumpy. Are you sure we're going the right way, Nico?
I've literally got no idea, that's what the map says. So fingers crossed we're going the right way. Oh, God.
I don't see anything. It's just a bumpy ass road.
Have faith. If it's on the internet, then it must be real, right?
Well, we found the car park. There were lots of cars, so we had gone down the right road. Now I'm in my bikini and I'm ready to take a dip. This is an adventure, going through the woods to try and find a swimming spot. And guess what, guys? As per this video, it's free.
You know what ain't free though?
I'm always so...
A trip to the bloody hospital.
I have no idea how to actually get in. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna fall like I just did coming down. It's meant to be warm. It's meant to be a geothermal like stream, and so it's like your own personal nature hot tub.
Sorry, one sec. Who's this hunk behind you? Oh, it's Daniel Craig. 2006 era Daniel Craig.
Right, I'm doing it. I'm going in. Oh my god, it's hot. Oh my god, I just dipped my toe in. It's bloody boiling, mate.
Yeah, I mean the sulfuric smell is a dead giveaway of this river's geothermal origins.
It was so hot, it was burning my feet when I was at the jacuzzi bit.
I really didn't expect it to be that warm because every other time I've dabbled in river water, it's been cold.
And talking of baths, actually, this is going to be the last time we're going to have a shower bath for a little while, isn't it?
Probably. Depends where we stay tonight. So I've been using an app called Rankers Camping, and it tells you different campsites all around the country and their price range. Now we stayed at quite a pricey place in Rotorua, I would say, because we needed some Wi-Fi. It was like a holiday park. So to balance that out, I'd quite like to find like a free or a cheap place. A free one here near Taupo. Somebody said, toilets look kind of new, but I haven't seen any more disgusting in the whole country. So it's not really a good sign.
But most importantly, it is free. So off we trot. Uh-oh, there they are.
Unfortunately, we're quite close to them. I haven't got loads of water. That might decide what we're going to be able to cook. Drink-wise, I guess I'll just drink that bottle of wine.
So we did have a big, huge drum of water that we could use, but it just had the most disgusting, rancid, plasticky taste. So now we're down to just filling up bottles of water whenever we can find a good opportunity. So let's see how many we've got.
1, 2,
3.
bit.
To be fair, we don't want to be drinking too much water because the toilets look a little bit festival-like, I've got to say.
We could make a roast veg with couscous, because couscous doesn't take up much water. And I think we've got like this packet of tikka dal stuff, and I think you just fry it, so we could have that and wraps.
Well, my concern is that with the curried items, that if it makes us need a poo, toilets aren't looking great, are they?
Too much information, Jack. Don't worry, I'll cook you a gentle and economical meal.
So we came to New Zealand straight from China pretty much. So it's obviously taken a little bit of getting used to the prices of things here. In China, it's no exaggeration to say that it's often cheaper to eat out than it is to cook at home. Whereas here in New Zealand, meals out, drinks out, all these things are super expensive. So what we tend to do is anytime that we're passing like a farm shop or we see a good deal, we'll pick up a little bit of fresh veg.
We saw some tomatoes for $2.99 a kilo, and you cannot pass up that offer.
And whenever we pass through a town, we will always stop off at a pack and save if we see one, because it's New Zealand's cheapest supermarket.
$4.99, that's decent. That's literally the cheapest I've seen red onion since I've been here. $4.99. That is pricey.
At least they're compostable, so help the environment.
Now luckily we don't eat much meat, so we can save ourselves a literal arm and a leg there, eh missus?
Yeah, but if we want to get some veggie stuff, then that's not exactly cheap either. Gonna run you over with our one bag of shopping for $60.
Whenever we see a deal on something, we'll grab it and store it in our fridge. We'll show you how we keep our fridge constantly running in an upcoming video. Subscribe so you don't miss that one. You'll see where we store our booze, our utensils, and most importantly,
Fancy Pants Pearl Couscous. I don't know if you've tried this couscous before. It is high grade. It is so much better than normal couscous.
enough waffling. Let's get cooking, fam.
It's looking peng.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
You have totally outdone yourself here, missus. Oh my god, that is heavenly. Cheers to that, missus, you smashed it.
Yay!
Mission complete. Join us next time when we'll learn more about the history of the amazing country that has been so kind to host us. There will be some fun stories.
My grandmother's told me some stories.
I bet.
Like some freaky stories.
And a lot of friendly faces along the way.